What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Young Queasy. We are back at it again. We're about to get it popping. So, as you can see, the title of today's is interesting because it is called Memoirs of an Aspiring Filmmaker. And basically, for anybody who knows me already knows that I want to be a filmmaker more than anything. And let me check real fast. I want to make sure that the quality is still up there because I know last time we had a lot of technical difficulties. I checked it and then okay. Nope, I didn't want to go up, I wanted to go down. Okay, sweet. So for anybody who watched last night's stream, I made a couple of announcements, as far as the Alien series is going. And for anyone who didn't catch it, I'm just going to do a quick little recap. So I'm having trouble right now. I'm running into technical difficulties. This is my first time jumping into PC gaming. I've never tried it before, so I'm kind of new to the whole thing. And I'm having trouble right now running the stream and the game at the same time. Now, I didn't have that problem the first time I streamed, but the audio quality was all over the place. So I made some changes or whatever, tried to fix some things to make it maybe run smoother, and then now when I try to do it, it won't even run the same thing. So right now the Alien series is on hold until I can figure out how to get that up and running. But in the meantime, I figured I would start up a new series, kind of like you see, it's a Just Chatting, kind of like an extension of the Ding Nation podcast, but since it's just me, figured I'd do it about the filmmaking journey that I'm on and things that I'm working on now, things that I've worked on in the past, as embarrassing as that might be sometimes, but things that I've worked on to get me to where I'm at and where I plan to go in the future. So that's what I wanted to do with this one. Yeah, appreciate you, Piggy. Yeah, I looked at it. It looked smooth on mine, but I wanted to make sure. So, as you can see in the title, it says Chapter 1, The Gran Live Commentary. Now, for anybody who doesn't know that, The Gran is a series that we started. It was me, my brothers, and our cousins started a little series of films that we started called The Gran, about two detectives hunting down a serial killer, or really just a crime boss in general. I tell you that because when you actually watch it, you will have no idea what the story is about. So, without further ado, I'm going to get it up here, right here. So as you can see, it is on YouTube. A couple of disclaimers about this one. The quality's bad. The video quality's bad. Audio quality's wacky. Not as bad as my stream the other night, but I will be providing, like I said, a live commentary. So for anything that's hard to hear or maybe hard to see, I'm going to do what I can to fill in those blanks, as well as just give some behind the scenes stuff. I may have to pause a couple of times because there's some licensed music on here that we didn't license because it's just a home film. So I may have to pause a couple of times during certain spots just to keep from getting a copyright. It's like I don't really know how it all works on here, but just to be safe. But yeah, so without further ado, let's start it. This is The Gran. Alright, get the cursor out of the way. You know what? We'll let it play. When we finish, I'm going to go back and do some, tell some stories behind the scenes and stuff. nothing, man. What you doing, man? What you doing?
I got orders. You ain't been paying your dues.
From who, man?
The Gran.
Where the money at? Where the money at? You heard me? Where the money at? Where's it at?
It's in the drawer. It's in the drawer. No, no. Good stuff right there.
Here you go, top drawer. Gran gonna love this.
Card. Alright, yeah, that's right, fam. What I am. R.I.P. Froggy.
Phone ring! I'll get it! I'm on vacation. Is that serious? Alright, we're on our way. We're on our way!
It's yours truly in the white shirt.
Let's go.
It's been some time ago.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Oh, this is heavy. Oh, this is fat.
Is this the body? That's the body. Yes, that's the body.
Watch out now, this is a crime scene.
It's alright, we're detectives.
What happened? Calm down, calm down.
Sit over here and tell us about it.
Oh, there's not a chair there. Oh,
No
sorry.
way. Alrighty. Give us the details of the... So tell us the story.
The what?
The story.
What are you... What?
The story.
What?
The story.
Just give us the
The
details
story.
of it. Yeah. Tell us what we
Story.
Okay. What we need to know is
Story.
It's enough!
One more and you're out of here. The story. I'm done. Let's go to the interrogation room.
Interrogation room. Some grade A writing right here.
Where am I?
You've been a very
You've been a bad guy. All right.
very
You need to comply with us and tell us what we need to know.
comply.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Give us what we need to know.
Tell us who the murderer was. What did he look like?
It was a hired thug.
Hired by who?
G Piggy is small. Yeah. For one, that's G
Someone
Piggy
named
right
Greg.
there.
But who now?
I'm not talking.
Aren't you the one who called the police?
Tell us who the murderer is! Tell us who the murderer is! Hey! Can I talk to you for a second? Let's go. What are you doing?
I just gotta look here.
I can tell. He's not gonna talk with you freaking out like that. What's we can turn the lights on now. Come on, what's with this? It's all right.
Okay, I just like the dramatic.
You can. Yeah.
Leave. I'll pay you later.
Maybe. Now let's go back in there and be professional. We're detectives, man. That's what we do. We get the bad guy, but we do it professionally.
Right.
We're not some yard animals.
Right, I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
We're good. We're good. Brothers for life.
Right.
Let's. He took my shades. Let's get
It pans.
There they go. Holy map with my shades.
Okay, I got it. I brought this up. I brought the money. Come on, just let me in. Let me talk to the Gran. Come on.
What is your purpose here?
I want to talk to the Gran. Come on. I have the stuff, okay? Dilly whack duck slaps chickens, okay? I have the passcode and everything.
You may enter. Stay.
Okay.
I will enter first.
Okay.
Gran, there is someone here to see you.
Okay, look, I have the money, okay? I have it right here. I done your job. I got the money. I killed them, okay? We just have witness, okay? One witness, come on. Please just take the money. Just take it. I don't want it, okay? Okay, look. I got the stuff, okay?
Viva.
Okay. Look. Please be there. You have the witness. I didn't know he was there, okay? I did not know that he would be there.
Dad. It's like you. He lost his leg. I put him out of his misery. Nobody needs to go through life without legs. I still have his legs as a trophy. Understand? Clear-headed. We can't afford loose ends.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Witness. Understood.
Well,
I really like this, man.
Yeah, it's a nice
It's a nice doll. Just think, I passed out drunk right here.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, hello there. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
right. Hey, you. Are you tired of watching commercials?
Of course.
I know I am.
I am too.
Well, not anymore. This red button, get rid of them for you. Demonstrate.
This
It's a
is
pushable button.
the commercial remover
From
Just
your,
watch.
yeah.
your friends from the Gran. Enjoy the show. You got me on that one. I didn't even see you there. How'd you?
Are we ever gonna go get that guy?
What?
The witness, you know, the guy that got away last night. He stole your shades?
Oh, yeah. What about him?
Are we gonna go get him?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Right.
Yeah.
Man, what are we doing?
Well, we said let's go. We just kind of took off running.
You can drive.
Okay.
You can drive.
When are we gonna be there?
We haven't even started yet.
Start the vehicle.
Start.
Use the keys. Use the keys.
Of course. Start. You're in witness protection program now, buddy. They're gonna be coming for you.
Why'd you run, huh?
Why you running? You guilty?
Why'd you run?
You guilty? Ah! Why'd you run? Get him! Get him!
the assassin.
I've been sent to kill you.
Here you go, pal. Thanks.
Just a bow and arrow.
Dang it, I missed.
Let's get him.
Here we go. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit over here because this the song, but this was the first fight scene that we actually ever filmed. As you can see, there's a lot of I don't even know what you would call it. But this was a lot of fun. did a lot behind the camera here, and found kind of where I belong, behind the camera. But this was just a lot of fun to shoot. Here we go.
Action.
A little bit of an action in there.
What are you doing? That was our witness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Are you okay?
No, I'm dying. Can we help you? It was in the script.
Oh my goodness. That was our witness. We were this close. This close. Ah! Hey, no, I'm done. We were so close to getting this Gran person, and now you killed our witness.
We have another one.
I didn't know I could sound
I
so
knocked him
mad.
out. I knocked him out.
It's supposed to be over.
Another one. I knocked out the Russian guy. I knocked out the Russian guy.
What? The rest?
The Russian guy. The Russian.
The assassin?
Yeah. Yeah, I knocked him out.
New witness.
I knocked him right out.
Eyes on the inside.
Right with my hand, I knocked him out. Yeah.
New witness.
I knocked him out.
What are you doing? You're standing in water. You're running the boots, man.
Right.
And what was with the smile? What was with that? What was with the smile?
Again.
Where am I? Shut your mouth. We ask questions around here. Pow!
Now!
No amount of torture will make me talk.
Alright. Start tearing his toenails off.
Like the homemade kind of.
No, I'll talk.
Hey! He said he'd talk. He said it. Who is it?
Who's the Gran?
Tell us or we'll kill you!
She is almighty. She is forever. Don't you see?
That's fine.
You can't win.
No!
What is that?
Poison, man! God! He just killed himself!
Just to commit suicide.
Man, this poison is from Asia!
Damn! He spent a lot of money on that. To kill himself one time!
It's from Siberia.
What?
That's one of
That's
my favorite
illegal.
lines in this whole movie.
Look at the bottom. The initials.
G. Poisonous Siberia. Cereal. Dude,
Cereal
you
number.
realize you only talked to her for like one time.
We connected.
No, you didn't.
We had a lot of...
Hey, put her down. Look at this. Look. Oh, goodness.
Who is that?
That's the Gran. That's the Gran. Yeah.
Sorry.
We gotta find her.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. Let's go. We're driving.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's go.
There we go. It's Guardians at the Gate plays us out. So. Just see like the little rip froggy right there at the end. So I'm gonna swap it back over here to channel. Now let me check it real fast because the video's looking funky. Okay, so the audio is still fine. I wanted to make sure the audio is something that I really wanted to get right. The video looked a little funky on there. I'm not sure if it was just, the transfer of quality or whatever. I'm not sure. But that was the Gran. It's 20 minutes of glory. As you can see, I'm a lot younger in that than I am now. I was a senior in high school, and the summer, this was in December. This was around Christmas time of 2016. Before that, the summer before, we were in Mississippi. A lot of my family is from Mississippi. And we were down there, and we had made a film, one of the first that really got the ball rolling. We had made some films in the past, because that's something we've always done when we get together. We make movies. We get an idea together, turn the camera on, and we just go with it and just see whatever we can create. And we've made a lot of them in the past. That summer, we had made one that was actually, I want to say it was the Christmas before, so it would have been 2015 was the first one, and we made a film called L.A. Blood. And one of these days I plan on doing this and making it one of our Memoir episodes. But L.A. Blood was essentially two detectives are trying to solve a case. It ends up being what most of our stories are about. But we made L.A. Blood, and it just kind of got the ball rolling. It got my excitement up for filmmaking. It made me want to. It got me wanting to make a film all the time. And so we made that, and like I said, I'll play it on here one day. But it was a very goofy detective story. And the next summer, it had been the summer of 2016. We were in Mississippi, and we were like, let's make our follow-up. Let's make part 2. And we kind of made a part 2, and I don't know if you can say much about it other than that. It was pretty rough, but it was so much fun, and it was just fueling that, and it made me wanted to just make more and make more. So then we fast forward to the holiday season of 2016 and Christmas time, and I'm in Tennessee, and that's where this movie takes place, is in Tennessee, is with the other side of the family. And we were sitting around, and we was like, guys, when we were young, we used to make little home movies all the time. We'd just take our little phone out, we'd record something. Usually it was a POV zombie movie. And actually, I invited them to watch the stream. If they jump in the comments, I'll see if maybe they remember anything about the POV zombie movies. But that was usually what we were doing. And we were like, we used to make them all the time. What if we tried it again and we made one with a little more effort involved, And at this point, we only had a few days left to be in there. And we said, okay, well, if we do it, we're going to have to do something quick. And I just remember we were sitting on the steps, the staircase, whatever. We were all just sitting around on the staircase, and we were tossing ideas back and forth. Like, we know we want it to be a detective story. It always is to be a detective story for some reason. And so he's like, okay, so where are we going from that? And we said, okay, we know who we want the villain to be, which was the Gran. We knew we wanted it to be the Gran. So he's like, okay, so what if we start at the end of the movie and kind of do one of those, and have the film be a leading up to that point. We had never made anything like that. I'm so glad we didn't do that. That is not a style that I like anymore. So I'm glad that we didn't do that. And we just tossed ideas back and forth. And actually, I can bring it back up. Actually, we can just start from the beginning, do just to talk through. And as you see, I'm going to swap it back over here. Okay, so you can see at the bottom right here. You see that on the stream? I don't know if you can see my mouse. No. So at the bottom in the corner, you can see it says made with Viva Video. I'm not endorsed by any means by Viva Video, but I will go on record saying I love Viva Video. It is an app that you can get for your phone, and for anybody doing just off the cuff filmmaking like this, Viva Video is awesome. There's so many tools to it. that allow you to make surprisingly well put together content, and I will show you. Actually, after this, I can show you a more recent example made with Viva Video. I love them, and for somebody who doesn't have access to a lot of resources, don't have a lot of money, can't afford a lot of the resources to get camera equipment and stuff like that. So I'm using a lot of phone as a camera, and for somebody who uses a phone, Viva Video is a lifesaver. And I'll get more into detail on Viva Video later, but it's down here in the corner. I just wanted to point that out. And one of the things that they have as one of their features is the. Actually, 1 second, I'm gonna boost my internet real fast. It'll be like 30 seconds, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the Be Right Back card. So give me a second. All right, what's up? So I decided, it's instead of going off of Wi-Fi, it felt like it was better to bring up the Ethernet. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, so sorry for that, but after last one, I'm paranoid, so I'm checking it, as we go along to make sure. All right, so what I was saying at the beginning here, Viva Video gives you certain intro things like this. Now, obviously, this is a play on the Universal, but it's Viva Video instead. I enjoy stuff. Stuff like this was fun to do because, like I said, this was the first time we had done anything like this, so it was really cool to have a feature like that. So this is not really the moon, believe it or not. This is a nightlight in a bedroom, and we tried to get an actual shot of the moon, but you couldn't see it. There's so many trees around, so we said, you know what? What if we just use this nightlight and we just make fake a shot of the moon? That's why there's no stars around either. So this is a nightlight of a moon, and the howling you hear in the background is actually my brother. Hey, you can't see my mouse now. Sweet. The howling you hear in the background is actually my brother doing his best wolf impression. So, and what you hear, if you watched it earlier, if you're tuning in right now, and you didn't watch the beginning, you'll see it when you go back and watch it. The worst quality about it, the video quality's, a little rough around the edges and stuff, and there are some spots that are worse than others. But the audio quality is the part that's always bugged me the most. And one of the reasons is because instead of actually editing music into it, putting it on the computer and overlaying the music on it, we just recorded the music as like an audio with the microphone on the phone. So it gives it this really flat sound. It's no bass at all. So this is the staircase we were all sitting on when we come up with the mix. So this here is my brother, who is in the military right now. I kind of wish he would tune in. We're talking about him, but This is him. Guys, this was 2016, so this has been some time ago now. Bad guy face. And the music just cuts. Just cut. Just cuts off.
Who is it, man?
It's actually me behind the door holding the frog and doing the voice. I don't know how well you can hear it on the stream, but that is me standing in the door holding a stuffed frog. And when you see on the rough shot, we have him pinned together or pinned up there by the door.
Who is it, man?
Wish you could do like a frame by frame. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I forgot to YouTube that. Anyways, we had
What you doing, man? What you doing?
I got orders. You ain't.
So, let me see. Also did all the, pretty much, I say all, there's one sound effect I think that we did actually use off of Viva video, but all the sound effects was made with our voices or whatever. Like here, I've got the camera here, and I'm recording, and you'll hear me doing the sound effect for every punch. And there was a time when it was sped up. All this sped up because him having squeakier voice sounded pretty funny. And then, so we recorded the sound effects sped up. And then, somewhere along the line, we said, I don't really feel it being sped up like that. I kind of like it just the way it is. So we slowed it back down to the original, but the sound effects stayed. Or it was one of the ways. See, they're pretty much on point.
What you doing, man?
You see it later, it'll go a lot faster.
I got orders. You ain't been paying your dues.
From who, man? The Gran.
Yeah, right. Actually, I thought. See,
Where the money at?
went way
Where the money at, you heard me? Where the money at? Where's it at?
It's in the drawer. It's in the drawer. No, no.
A lot of just off-the-cuff decisions made this film. Like him just falling over and over and over again. See the thing about it being sped up? This is a scene that we left sped up. So...
Here you go,
look
top
at
drawer.
it.
Gran gonna love this.
See, originally all of it was that fast. There's my other brother right here. That is Mr. G Pig right there. This one, I again said this is OG Daddy. So you see both of these guys pop up in the game all the time. This one more than the other one because OG, like I said, he's in the military, so our schedules don't exactly align. But G Piggy is actually on the game right now, so he's actually thinking about, and I'm trying to talk him into doing it, but he's been considering doing a live stream of his own and streaming VR. He's been really getting into VR, and at the moment, just through PlayStation VR. But he eventually wants to go to Oculus, and so I'm trying to convince him into streaming that. So that's something you can be looking out for too, outside of my own personal stream. Is G Piggy here, and OG has said he wants to start streaming his game again too. So we'll see. But yeah, so these are my two brothers right here. A lot younger here than they are now. Feels like, anyways. Our homemade title card. So I'm not gonna say which one, just in case they jump on here to watch. But one of the other people in this film had a girlfriend at the time that is not the best when it comes to relationships, whatever. And he had this hat that she had bought him, and I don't remember how the story went, but bridges were burned, and so was the hat. So we had this. He said, "I'm gonna burn this hat." He said, "You want to burn this hat with me?" I was like, "Sure." So we walked out, started burning it. I said, "Hey, what if we just film it and we use it in the movie somewhere?" Okay, and it ended up becoming our title card. So kind of funny, you know how it looks. I think it looks awesome. This is still a really cool idea for a title card, I think. But yeah, a story I think makes it kind of funny to us, anyways. Originally, it had all of us making our homemade music in the background. We were all at the same time. I don't remember what the song was, but we were all in the background, just yelling to the top of our lungs whatever song was getting our title card. And we ended up liking the silence better because the rest of the movie was so over the top. So this is my cousin here. I don't know that he does any streaming much. He pops up on my stream every now and then. So we'll see if we can get him in here. But he just kind of took over as being the leading man. Definitely had the charisma and everything to pull off. And you know, we all just stepped back and let him do his thing. So he really showed out in this movie. This is funny here because this picture right here that he is fawning over is actually my aunt. And his aunt too. We couldn't find another picture of somebody that wasn't family, and we said, you know what, we're just gonna go with it. You know, no one has to know, and now everyone knows. So this is actually a picture of our aunt. So yeah, it's all satire though. So, but yeah, this is his long lost love. There's me with our homemade beer bottle, passed out. We have this is a room in my grandmother's house. She has a lot of antiques, and in the corner over here is an old antique phone, and you can manually ring it. And so rather than having a sound, if we had my youngest brother run in and manually ring the phone, and we're just gonna pretend like he wasn't even there. Again, just one of those things that just spur of the moment, just completely off the wall comedy that we were going for.
Phone ring! I'll take it! Hello? I'm on vacation! Is that serious? Alright, we're on our way. We're on our way!
So yeah, that's
You get cleaned up first.
Let's go.
so. All right, this in here. Let's see if I can stand up. From the body up on the street. This guy right here, who ends up being the assassin later on, is that cousin I just showed you. It's his brother, and he just went in the military too. So, and yeah, obviously we don't have very many people disposal, so we had to just. Oh, let me make sure. I don't want that to blast out. Hello. Okay. It's acting weird over here, so I keep getting paranoid that it's not playing right. So, yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm just gonna go. Oh yeah, I do remember what I was saying. So we're short on people. Obviously, it's just me and my two brothers, and then my two cousins here. So for a lot of the roles that we didn't have people for, we just had to fill in ourselves. We could have, I think, bothered to change the clothes, but we didn't. So everybody's dressed the same. You'll see in a little bit. You'll see us all change clothes for a different reason.
Just the body.
No shoe. My left foot. Just toss the body out. And the stretcher.
Watch out, now this is a crime scene.
It's alright,
He got his little hat on. He shows his badge, it's just a little plastic bag. So, like I said, a lot of this was just right off on the spot, just improv, just come up with it as we went and stuff. in the moment, someone would say it and we'd be like, okay, that was funny. Let's just use that. And sometimes we capitalize on it. Now, the scene coming up here is pretty... We'll just wait to get there. What happened?
Calm down, calm
So,
down.
yeah, he missed it earlier.
Oh, there's not a chair there. Oh, sorry.
Not a chair there. That right there was another thing. It was just on the, on the spot, him taking off the little tiny baby shoes, and kicking them off in such a weird way kind of became a running gag for films in the future as well. There's a lot of things in this movie that became, and the other movies that I was talking about earlier, like LA Blood, stuff like that. A lot of these little things became running gags to our movies. So as we watch more and more of the personal movies, you'll see a lot of it.
Give us the details of the...
And this whole scene here, the whole
The what?
story thing.
The story.
What are you? What?
The story. What? The story.
Let's give us the details.
This scene, when we were brainstorming what to do, we were trying to come up with, what's the plot of our movie going to be? And we were just throwing all these ideas back and forth. And like I said, originally the idea was we were going to have the detectives breaking down the case right at the beginning. It was going to pause, and it was going to rewind. And it was going to play it back from the beginning. And while we were discussing that, me and my youngest brother, the one being interrogated here, were throwing this idea back and forth about just this really dumb scene right here. And it played out almost exactly like this. And we was just kind of playing it back and forth, and I was doing that. Tell us the story. I was doing it over and over, and everybody was laughing. Everybody thought it was hilarious. And when we filmed the scene, there were some of the adults, like, our parents and their parents were standing off to the side, and this was all that they saw of the movie. They didn't know anything about our movie that we were making. And we filmed it pretty much chronologically, so we had already filmed that whole first scene here. So they had zero idea about the movie we were making, about what it was going to be. So when they saw us filming the scene and they sat and they watched the scene, I think every one of them just felt this, this dread and this disappointment for the movie they were going to have to watch when we finished it. And the fact that it was 20 minutes long at this point, this was the longest movie we'd ever made. Obviously, that has changed, and we'll get into that at the end of this video. I'll talk about it. But at this point, this was the longest video we'd ever made. And so they was really dreading watching this one after watching this scene. But we loved the scene. Obviously, now I've seen the film, if you even call it a color film. I've seen this so many times now that certain gags like here don't hit as hard for me now. There's a line in this film that I still think I laugh at them every time I hear them. And actually, when we all are together and we're quoting this together, it's so much. We made something here that is special to us, and certainly special to me. And it's something that at the end of it, like I said, at the end of this, I want to talk about a different film that was more recent, actually the most recent. But this was lightning in a bottle for us. I know most people watching this are going to say, this sucks. The quality's bad, the acting's bad, the editing's bad. It's everything about it, and the story makes no sense. This was lightning in a bottle for us because, yes, all that is true. Every bit of that is true. But what it did was it inspired us to expand on it. And for me personally, because like I said, as you see in the title, I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I would love nothing more than to become a director. And it's the things like this that propelled that forward. I always kind of wanted to. My older cousin of mine, see him in a couple of the other movies, introduced me into it when I was probably 9, I think 8 or 9 years old, and he was in a film class, and so he was always using me, and we were making these films, and it started there. And from then on, I was like, I want to do this. And every time we were together, like I said, we'd make the POV zombie movies. And it was just, it sparked something in me that I always wanted to do. And I'll turn it down because I can hear myself echoing. I don't know. I hope y'all can't hear that. I can hear it though. But it sparked something in me that I always wanted to continue. And every time we were together, and I'm sure some of the other cousins that may be watching this right now or maybe watching this in the future, they're going to hear this and go, yep. Because every time we're together, that's the first thing we think of. Are we going to make a movie? And we've made some great ones along the way, and we've made some not so great ones. And I'm going to have an episode for all the major ones. But this was the one that this was the first time I actually took I say writing, there wasn't much writing in this involved, but I took more of a directorial role, even though I am in it. I took more of an initiative to direct on this one. Say, okay, what if the camera does this? And it was the first time I really thought about that type of stuff. So this movie is very special to me for that reason alone, and not to mention just all the memories we made while we were making this. So yeah, so this, but like, I've been rambling now, but I'll start because of this little in here. This was the scene that kind of kicked off the tone of what we were going to do while we were coming up with what the story was going to be. It's like I said, it's lost some of its weight for me because it goes on for so long. But, you know, and I'm sure it doesn't have any weight to some of you out there, but this was the scene that I've kicked off this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Tell us what we...
Story?
probably the only thing
know is...
kind of come up for the actual movie too.
Enough!
Didn't really write it, but
One more and you're out of here!
the only thing that wasn't improv, I'll say.
The story?
I'm done!
What's crazy about that is if you see, actually, I'm gonna back it up just a bit. What you see is he stands up and he throws his hat in the air, and it lands back on his head, and then everybody's just sitting around shocked that he did it. What's funny about that is behind the scenes we filmed this, and the camera cuts. You'll see he stands up.
The story?
I'm done!
Stands up, throws it right there, throws it. The scene cuts right here, but the hat landed on his head. It really did happen. The hat landed back on his head, and all of us, you know, that was the coolest thing we'd ever seen. And but they cut it. We had cut it, so we didn't get that. So what we did was we did a different angle, right, where he's just standing like a mannequin, and the hat just drops back down. Makes it a little more ridiculous than the way it actually played out. But it did. It actually did land back on his head. So all of this was the next scene that we filmed. And what's crazy about this is right here, the phone died. And we were using an HTC. And, whoa, I bumped my light, or my little stand here. We were using an HTC. And you can kind of see, based on quality, that it was an HTC. And the battery wasn't lasting very long, and it died right here after this little shot. And so we didn't get to do any more, so we charged it up. And you'll actually see the day change, because this was one night. Oh, I'm bumping that. It's right here. But you'll actually see the day change after this. The lighting changes, all of our clothes change. The mouth drops open. And now the lights change. The light on, which it should have been on to begin with, but wasn't. The lights on. Now a long sleeve, and you can see it's Star Wars shirt. So actually, this was, like I said, 2016. This was right after we got back from watching Rogue One in the theaters, which I love, by the way. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. But so it was a tradition every year that we started when Force Awakens came out was we were gonna watch all these Star Wars movies in the theater together. And so December rolls around, we go down and we watch Rogue One together. So we had waited all day, kind of trying to come up with ideas and stuff for this to continue our movie and stuff. But really, we were all pumped for Rogue One, so we didn't think much about it, and we just let the phone charge. Went and watched it, got home, and said, "All right, let's film." And so you can see we're all in our Star Wars shirts. Star Wars shirt there. His hoodie zipped up, but his Star Wars shirt, obviously that doesn't. Star Wars shirt there. So yeah, we had went and watched Rogue One together. It's there.
Let's go to the interrogation room.
Interrogation. So for some reason, our ideas were all over the place. And so the witness here, for some reason, we're treating the witness like he's the one who did it. And we're treating the witness crazy for reacting poorly. This was a makeshift interrogation room. Little tiny table, sitting on the mattress.
You feel very, very easy.
You've been a bad guy. All right.
This is probably my favorite
You need
scene
to
of the
comply with
entire
us.
film.
Tell us what we need to know.
Comply.
I don't know what you're
To
talking.
me, I talked earlier about how certain things have lost their weight to me, like the tell us the story thing. This scene right here has never lost its weight to me. I think this scene, as far as just off the cuff, coming up with ideas, just completely improv off of each other, playing off of each other, I think this right here is still, to me, this scene is hilarious. I love everything about this scene. Other than, I wish the quality was better. As you can see, look at that. That's horrible. And it jumps back and forth. Sometimes the quality is great. Sometimes the quality is bad. It's never great. Sometimes the quality is better. Sometimes it's bad. Right here it was bad. But I love this scene.
About.
Give us what we need to know.
Tell us who the murderer was. What did he look like?
It was a hired thug.
Hired by who?
You do this flashback. We were actually really proud of how this turned out because it turned out pretty solid. If you remember the beginning of the film, which you would if I paused so much, this plays out almost exactly the way it did, even just down to the direction he looks and everything, and the voice and everything. We pretty much nailed the way it looked. I got this part. You have the verse here. You see that? Almost exact. Little cut between there, but we were really, really proud of ourselves for creating the second perspective on this scene. A lot of fun.
Someone named the Gran. I'm not talking.
Aren't you the one who called?
Here's what I'm talking about. So we're treating him. We spend the whole time treating him like he's the criminal. Tell us what we need to know. And at the beginning, he says, "You've been a bad guy." He'd comply with us. Tell us what we need to know. None of it makes sense to be treating a witness like this. He's the one he witnessed. Then when he says he is too scared to talk, then all of a sudden he becomes sympathetic and is, "Aren't you the one that called the police? We're here to help you."
Called the police.
We're treating him like an idiot. And obviously he freaks out.
Tell us who the murderer is! Tell us who the murderer is!
Hey, like I said, this is off the cuff. Nothing in the whole scene was planned. We just said, okay, go. With the camera, we would do our little thing, and we would flip the camera around to him. All right, go. And so, to me, there's so many things here that we still quote to this day that tell us who the murderer is something that we say to each other every time we're together. So, This is great.
Can I talk to you for a second? Let's go.
What are you doing?
I just gotta look here.
I can tell that. He's not gonna talk with you freaking out. What's with...
All right. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. All right, we'll take that. Interruptions, man. All right, here we go.
I just gotta look here.
I can tell that. He's not gonna talk with you freaking out like that. What's with... We can turn the lights on now. Come on, what's with this? This
I don't care what anybody says. This right here was a genius idea. Instead of having an actual light. Of course, we were already doing the flashlight thing because it gave that impression. But then, again, this was just an off-the-cuff idea. What if we turn the light on and you see that it's just somebody standing there? You see that it's the paramedic or whatever that was at the beginning that's carried the body. He's the one holding the light. Again, it's just little things like that. Just when you single them out, they don't really amount to all that much. But that right there that's just funny. That's just a funny idea, at least I think. And when you put that in the overall scope of things, I'm proud of what we come up with here. Like I said, this scene is just great.
Okay, I just like the dramatic.
Yeah, then we dismiss him and tell him he can get out of here.
Let's go back in there and be...
Probably pay him.
We're detectives, man. That's what we do. We get the bad guy, but we do it professionally.
Hat lines, man.
Yard animals.
I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
We're good. We're good. Brothers for life.
Right.
Let's...
Here's the thumbnail.
He took my shades! Let's get him!
There they go!
Holy mackerel!
With my shades!
And the dog was actually barking, so that added to the overall him escaping. Yeah, that first half right there, I love it. Everything about it is to me, like I said, some of it has lost its weight, but to me that right there is still so special to me, and every little bit I have to just go back and watch this. This is the thing here. There's a lot here that I think is really funny. This scene right suffered the most from the bad quality, and it bugs me the most to watch this scene. Because for the most part, other than this little part at the beginning, right here,
I got it. I brought this.
This scene is played pretty much straight.
Just let me in. Let me talk to the Gran. Come on.
What is your purpose here?
This was right at the time when people were doing the dancing videos with the head on,
okay?
and we said,
Dilly
why
whack,
not?
duck,
Let's just throw one of those in
chickens,
here.
Okay.
So
Mass code and everything.
You may enter. Stay.
Okay.
I will enter first.
Okay.
again, that's me in the hoodie there.
Gran, there is someone here to see you.
From here on, through the rest of the scene, it's pretty much played straight. There's not any comedy outside of just the stuff that's unintentionally, I say unintentionally, the stuff that's just funny by nature, because the bad guy is our grandmother. And we talked her into doing this. It didn't take much convincing, because she's always been one to just jump in and do whatever everybody else is doing. And this was the part I think everybody was most excited to see, was how she was going to pull this off, because, you know, all the adults knew she was going to be in it. And they were like, really? You're gonna be a part of the movie where they're saying, tell us the story over and over and over again? She was like, yeah, let's do this. So I think everybody was most excited to see this. I hate that the quality dropped so much in the sound and the music. The way we did the music really kind of crippled the scene. But this scene here, it was, like I said, it's mostly played straight. You know, she is menacing. We told her to...
Okay.
And she did her costume herself.
I have money, okay?
Told her however
right
she
here.
wanted to
I've done your job.
make her character look.
Kill them, okay?
So she went into her room,
one witness, okay?
did her
One
thing,
witness.
and
please
come out and said, all right, what do y'all think? We said, let's do it. We love it. And that beard is actually a wig. It's just upside down. So.
Okay. Look. Please be there. You have to witness. I didn't know he was there. Okay. I did not know that he would be there.
Hey, Sydney. I'm sorry I didn't see your comment. I need to put an alert or something on here so I can see or so I can hear when I get a comment, because I'm watching this direction and I have my stream up on this side. So I get caught up when I'm rambling and stuff. I'm looking over here, and then when I get caught up in the movie, I'm watching right here. So I need to start looking over here. I just sent you a message. I don't know if you've seen it. I just got done messaging you. I actually just watched your stream last night. Went back through and watched your stream, and I watched some more of it today. Awesome job. Your stream looks awesome. So anybody who's watching this now or in the future, Sydney So's here in the comments. Check her stream out. It's awesome. Yeah, the ad stuff, congratulations. When I clicked on it and it popped up an ad, it just put a big smile on my face. I was like, sweet. You know, that was great. You know, I'm probably the only person in the world that smiles when I get an ad, but I did because, you know, I knew that you had, you know, were able to, you know, do ad spots. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see in the name, this is probably the series that I'm going to be doing that's going to be your alley more as opposed to the other stuff I'm doing. I decided I was going to start this little series because, as I told, you know, people last night, I did like this little announcement or whatever on the channel. I recently started up I was going to start playing PC on here, and I was going to do a series of streaming Alien Isolation. I was just going to split it up into chapters, however long it takes to finish Alien Isolation. First time ever playing anything on PC. I've never played a game on PC, and I've never streamed off of one either. So that was a first for everything. And the quality got really weird. It was fun, but somewhere between here and the big World Wide Web, the audio got all wacky and stuff. And in my trying to fix it, I made it worse because now my computer can't even run the stream and the game at the same time. It won't let the two coexist. If I open one, I have to close the other. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I said I was gonna, if you'll see in my message I sent you, my first message was, I have a question. That's my question. I was gonna ask if you had any tips. Yeah, I only have the one CPU. It's a gaming laptop. Like I said, it ran fine the first time, and actually the game was fine, and everything about the stream was fine, except for right here, the camera and the audio from the camera. Because the audio in the game sounds fine, but the audio from the camera is terrible. And if you go back and watch that stream, it's going to be pretty bad. It's a Dell. It's a Dell Inspiron. How do you say that? 7000 for gaming. It's my primary computer for everything. Right. And you know, actually, I guess I do it this way. You're watching me from this way. Yeah, and I knew that you did, so that's why I was going to reach out to you first and see if there was any tips that I can do here. One of the things that I did was I dropped my FPS, and I think that's what's affecting my stream here, and it's not that bad. It's not really that big of a deal. But we see like my mouse, and it's really jumpy. And when I was having that video actually play, it would give it almost this glitchy look. And I wonder if the FPS did that. But it fixed the audio, and I should have just left it at that. But I kept tinkering and kept trying to do things to boost my CPU or to lower my CPU usage, and apparently I messed something up. So, and I'm too paranoid about doing anything big to it because I have so much on here that I really need to back up on external hard drive. But so yeah. So that's the reason the Alien series hasn't continued. It's because I'm trying to. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I couldn't get I couldn't get the stream and the game to actually do it. So that's why the Alien series is on hold right now until I can figure that out. And if I remembered all the things I did, I would just go back and change everything back to the way I had it and see if that worked just in dropping the FPS, because it's worked for this stream so far. So I wonder if that would do it. But yeah, so the Alien stream is on, or the Alien series is on pause. So I decided I was going to start a different one for the meantime, which is something I already wanted to do. And it's Memoirs of an Aspiring Filmmaker. Kind of a cheesy, pretentious title, but I wanted to do it because people get sick of me. The people around me get sick of hearing me talk about, filmmaking and what I love about filmmaking and all the previous films and the stuff that I have planned for the future. People get sick of it, so I figured I'd annoy everybody online with it and just break it up into different spots. I figured I'd start with the Gran first, but then I want to go into other films that, some of them are going to be embarrassing to watch. I have one on here, and I don't know when I'll do it. I may do it next. It's the first film I was ever in. Really, the first film that really kickstarted and got the ball rolling and hooked me to the whole filmmaking thing. And it was me and my cousin, and that's pretty much it. And I was 9, I think. I say 8 or 9. I think I was 9 or 10. And so yeah, it's gonna be an embarrassing one. Let me read this. Absolutely, yeah, I'm all for it. Absolutely. Is this what you have? I'm not sure on the last one because it did the little stars. It looks like it cut something out that you were trying to say. I'm not sure, or if you typed it yourself, but yeah. So that's the idea. Oh, a link, yeah. It told me when I set this whole thing up, it told me that it was gonna be, or that it wasn't gonna allow links. So I'm gonna have to find a way to change that so I can do that. But actually, I can send it to you just on normal message what it actually is, or you can send it to me in Messenger and I can let you know if that's the right thing. But yeah, so that's the idea for this series here. I figured I'd do that and just kind of give a backstory as well as giving a little, bit for future. The stuff, that we've got cooking for the future. So it's like, trying to find your specs. A lot of games. You have 2 separate views in the laptop. Okay. Yeah, this is all new to me. So I'm a console guy, and I still plan to be mostly, primarily a console guy, but I did want to try some PC stuff out. Like I said, Alien Isolation was a gift from Twitch. I got it from the Prime Gaming. So I was going to give it a shot, and then I just went through and I was like, okay, I kind of bit more off than I could chew because I was like, ooh, if I'm going to be doing Alien, I want to do some other stuff too. And I went through and bought some games and stuff to do in the future. So so we'll see. I haven't downloaded all of them because, like I said, I'm waiting to get an external hard drive to move a lot of stuff and clear up a lot of space on my PC or whatever, on my laptop. But in the meantime, I'm just going to make do with what I got. Started a new series that's pretty low maintenance as far as the CPU goes. Apparently, it looks like it's doing pretty good. So, and in the meantime, we'll see how to get that working. The deep lore about the Gran. Yeah, so I've been going through, and actually, if you want, halfway through the movie right here, I've talked way more about the movie than there's probably interest in. A lot of behind the scenes and a lot of leading to. What I was just saying about this here, this is actually my grandmother, who, I don't know how long you were watching before I saw your comment, but this is actually my grandmother, and we told her, he was like, hey, we've created this the bad guy for a movie around you, do you want to, do you want to play your own character, or is one of us going to play you? And she said, no, I want to do it. So he said, all right, just however you want to look, she said, okay, give me some time. I'm going to get it, a costume worked out, and I'll come to you and see what y'all think. So he's like, okay. So we sat around, and this is what she come up with. It's like an old Western duster, and I don't even know what type of hat that is. You're the fashion one, you'll probably know, but the hat, and then a wig is a beard, and her cane, which you will see has a compartment. You've watched this already, so so this is all her creation. So I can't take credit for any of this. And I hate that this is the scene that's most from the bad audio quality. Also improvised her whole story. He told her, he said, okay, here's what you want to do. The idea is you're this crime boss, you're this big crime lord in Siberia. For some reason, that was the only place we could think. You're this crime lord in Siberia, and you put a hit out on a guy, and there was a witness. And the guy who, did the hit is being tracked by the cops now, and we want you to tell him a story that's really that's scary and menacing and stuff and threatening in a passive way, a very passive aggressive type story, and then you're gonna execute him. And we told her that, and she was like, that's what I wanted to do anyways. She wanted to be really bad. She didn't want to just be a bad guy. She wanted to be evil. So she tells the story right off the top of her head. She tells the story about this old worker she had that actually, I'll back it up. You can kind of hear it. She tells the story about the old employee she had who messed up and created some loose ends, and he lost his legs somehow. She won't say how he lost his legs, but he lost his legs, and she says, nobody wants to go through life without legs, and so I can't remember how she worded it now. She says she dealt with it though.
You have the witness. I didn't know he was there.
See, I'll try to.
I did not know that he would be there.
She said she had a guy. I just killed.
Lost his leg.
Lost his legs.
Put him out of his misery.
Put him out of his misery. That's what she said.
Nobody needs to go through life without legs.
Nobody needs to go through life without legs. That is one of the most evil things I've ever heard anybody in my family say. She executed a guy for losing his legs because, no one deserves to go through life without legs. That is so evil. Just go around killing amputees. She says his legs as a trophy. That makes it even more evil. Because that statement implies that she's the reason he lost his legs, and she killed him for losing his legs. So, I don't know. When we were listening to this, I'm the one behind the camera right here. And I remember listening to this, and I had the biggest smile, and I tried so hard not to make a sound, but I was so happy. It's so cool. The story, exactly. It was so cool, the story she come up with right on the spot. And it, like I said, it was so evil. Like, man. And the Gran, like you said, don't. Let me see. What else did she say? I don't think she says anything else about it. Ask if he understands. Oh, it says understand. Do you understand where you're headed? So, like I said, I wanted something passive aggressive. I think it was a little more aggressive than it was passive, which makes it that much better. So basically, she told him, I caused one of my employees amputated, killed him because he was amputated, or killed him because he was an amputee, still have his legs as a trophy. Do you understand where you're headed? That's a terrible thing to tell somebody. But hey, it's for an interesting villain. the ideas that we have going forward for this are going to be absolutely amazing. If we can get them to pull off the way we want.
Can't afford loose ends.
Can't afford loose ends. So this is actually Jane. She has had this for years, as long as I remember. I don't know what you call them, but it's actually a blade hidden inside the cane. And I don't know how many people's grandmothers carry around a cane with a blade inside of it, but mine does, and and she volunteered to be a villain, so I don't know how I feel about that, actually. It's giving some insight into her character. He actually messed his knees up from fighting. Her little menacing laugh right there. He used to. She doesn't do it much now. She doesn't leave the house much now, but when she did, or she stays, she has a boat that she goes to, and it's basically a trailer on the water. And so between the house and the boat, she doesn't do much. But in between there, she used to always have that cane with the blade inside. I don't know what those are. Oh, sword cane. I see it. Yeah, she had a sword cane, and that was her. That's her prized possession. I don't know what it was. I don't know why, but the quality kept dropping between certain shots.
Red. Witness. Understood.
Right then, you can't hear, but she forces him to salute. So it's some totalitarian deal under there. So yeah, that's a scene. When we filmed it, it was something that blew us all away because we didn't know our grandmother could be so evil. But at the same time, I think it's the one that disappoints me the most because of how much the quality dropped for this scene. Yeah, the cackle right there was her improv. Oh, I missed it. I want to go back here it again. So yeah, she improvised pretty much the whole thing. We told her the goal of the scene. We told her what we wanted to accomplish with the scene, and that's pretty much how we do everything. We say, okay, here's point A, here's point B, everything in between. We have no idea what it is, but we have to get from point A to point B. Go. We start the camera, and off the cuff, whatever happens, but it's got to end at point B. So we may hit every letter on the way through, but we're hitting point B at the end. And that's pretty much how we operate on these things. Commercial breakout was actually my brother's idea.
I really like this, man.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Understanding because, as you'll see, the commercial is for a product that's completely... Yes, she improvised it. But, she based. But... So this right here, the product here is a fake product called the commercial remover, and there was some communication between us and him, but he came up with this idea and said, what if you're given the commercial or whatever and make it like one of those infomercials? Are you tired of watching commercials? Well, here, and he presses the button for the commercial remover, and it was a commercial from the movie. That was the original idea. That's a hilarious idea. There was a miscommunication, and we ended up not doing it that way. We played it out like just a normal infomercial, and I'm disappointed that we didn't do it that way. Because what we have is just a normal infomercial now. But his idea was actually pretty funny because it would have been a 10-second clip that was, are you tired of watching commercials? Well, here's the solution. We have the commercial remover. All you do is and then it just starts the movie back up. And that's it. And it was just going to be one of those things, you're watching it, and then it ends, and you're like, what just happened? Do we need to pause the movie and think about what just happened? So that was the original idea for it. I wish we would have put off that. We didn't. Like I said, we misunderstood what he meant.
A passed out drunk right here.
Oh,
Hey, hello there.
This was actually the last thing we filmed for this movie.
That's enough.
Right. Hey, you. Are you tired of watching commercials?
So actually, right here, what we did was we edited it all, as you can see down in the corner, Viva Video. We edited it all on this HTC, which was our primary camera as well. And we just loaded it all in, was editing it together, and got to the very end, and we were like, all right, let's burn this off onto a disc, and we're going to have a theater night. We're going to have a movie premiere to the family. They're all in the... She has like a finished basement or whatever that has a TV up in the wall. It's like, we're going to premiere it down there. All the family's going to sit around, and we're going to pop the DVD in, and we're going to watch our movie. Very last minute, we had it loaded onto the computer. We were about to click burn, and my brother come up with the idea for the commercial. And we said, oh, let's go ahead and film that. So our family was all sitting around ready to watch this movie, and while we were up there burning it off on the disc, and my brother said, oh, what if we do this? And we said, all right, let's do it. So we delayed the process by however long this scene is here, and plus however long it took to, load it in, which wasn't long, but it was long enough to be kind of ridiculous that we stopped the post-production process to keep filming our reshoots. But it's like Hollywood.
I know I am. I am too. Well, not anymore. This red button, get rid of them for you. Demonstrate.
This is
The pushable button.
the commercial remover
From
Just
your,
watch.
from your, yeah.
your
That was our
friends
infomercial voice.
from the Gran. Enjoy the show.
This was earlier that day.
I didn't even see you there. How'd you?
Are we ever gonna go get that guy?
I love that. I love that little emoji too. That's funny.
You saw your shade?
If I was on console right now, it would have read that off and told me what that emoji was.
Are we gonna go get it?
But
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's go. Right.
so actually, we're into right here. As you can, we are on a mountain in the middle of the woods. There's nobody around. My other family in Mississippi, we were down before this. Hit Mississippi first, up to Tennessee, back to Ohio. While we were in Mississippi, we were playing a game of backyard football in a backyard. Hey, well, that's funny. Either way, it cracks me up. I laugh at pretty stupid things. You already know that. But so we were playing backyard football, and at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it was pitch black outside. We set up some floodlights, and I was running back at the time. As you can see, I put on a little weight then, but I ran out, or I was a receiver for this game, and I ran out, and I was watching back. My brother was covering me, and I had a pretty good little lead on him, and I was watching back, and he tossed the ball up, and I was watching it, and it was coming right to my hands, but I noticed my brother quit coming after me, so I was thinking, man, I got this. I'm going to catch this ball and just walk into the touchdown because he's not even after me anymore. Well, I found out it's because he saw what I was running towards while I was looking backwards, and it's because there was a truck sitting there that hadn't moved for years. It was full of old tools and everything. The truck, it was planted in the ground, basically. And I hit that truck, folded over the hood, and just it stuck. I hit and stuck. And, of course, everybody thought it was hilarious, but I thought I broke my leg. I couldn't walk on my leg. It swelled up real big, got all purple and stuff. I didn't break it, but I messed it up. That was just a couple of days before we left for Tennessee. I definitely made the little sound effect when I hit that truck. But I stuck there forever, and everybody come up there, and I didn't feel any pain at first. I just smacked, and I was just in more shock than anything. And then I was laughing and everything, like, I just ran into a truck. And then all of a sudden, when I started walking, I felt that I couldn't walk on my leg. Then it started to kick in. I was like, that hurts. Guys, I'm going to go lay down for a little bit. And I did. 2 days later, we left for Tennessee and started filming this. So this whole running thing, if you notice, I don't bend the one leg at all. I'm running stiff leg the whole time. Yeah, pretty much. That adrenaline was gone, and so was I. So these right here were so painful, but I had to power through it. I'm the Tom Cruise of indie films. You'll see, we jump off porch. That leg stayed straight pretty much the whole time. or it will be perfect straight, but you'll see I don't move it. If I had it in a position, I had kept it locked. I'm running very stiff here. We're jumping over nothing. See, he does a flip, and instead of me doing a flip too, I just leapfrog because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I salute you for your sacrifice. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's good to be loved.
When are we
Decided to drive instead of run.
We haven't even started yet. Start.
Use the keys. Use the keys.
Again, just another off-the-cuff idea.
Start.
So dumb. I am so baby-faced. I was 17 years old in this. I'm 17. I was a senior in high school. And I'm doing the fruity run in the world right here. Look at this. Look how fruity this run is. I'm just running like... I was baby-faced. I'm definitely not as baby-faced anymore. I've aged a little. But... And I've put on a few pounds since then. But... yeah, that, I don't know what that run was. Look, I feel bad for my little brother right here because he tells us how much this scene actually was painful. We're still kind of baby believes. Well, thank you. I was actually earlier today I was thinking about taking it all off and got busy and just hadn't. And then when I started streaming, I was like, well, should I just go ahead and knock it out? I was like, nah, I don't feel like it. So it's 8 on. So you got to see it again. And right now, actually, my actual hair is getting a little crazy too, getting a little shaggy. So I had the hat on because it was getting shaggy. When I was trying to play the game the other day, it was falling down in my eye, so I had to keep pushing it out of my eye. So I've been wearing a hat because of that. But yeah, so I got tortured because we did like 15 takes of this. Not this here, but this right here, the flip. I mean, those 4 takes that made it into the movie. Excuse me. Yeah, Doc Holliday thing. You sent that to me when I was streaming the game not long ago, and now I can't unhear that, or unread it, or unsee it, or however. I can't get it out of my mind. We'll just put it that way. The Doc Holliday thing.
You're in witness protection program now, buddy. They're gonna be coming for you. Why'd you run, huh? Why?
Like I said earlier, it makes 0 sense. That was a great flip, though. Hey, it was a great flip. We did I want to say we did 8, 9, 10 takes of that, and he said it hurt every time. We tried to be gentle. But you can only be so gentle when you're flipping somebody onto the ground. Which is why you see we're holding him, we've got his knee and his shoulder, or trying to take some of the pressure off, but you can only do so much, and he was in pain, but he kept it to himself until now. Now he really lets us have it. But yeah, so we only used 4 or 5, I counted them, but I forgot the number. It was 4 or 5 takes in the actual thing. Salute him. I'll let him know. I'll be sure to let him know that you're paying your respects. But yeah.
Why you running? You guilty? Why'd you run?
For some reason, like I said earlier in the movie, the interrogation scene, we're treating him like he's the bad guy here. We know he's the witness. We say it multiple times that he's the witness. He has no reason to fear us, no reason to worry. We're trying to help him, but we do stuff like this through the whole movie. It's pretty funny. It's kind of like just a little running joke throughout the whole movie that we're treating the witness like this. And, but right here, we accuse him of being guilty, and he screams for no reason.
You guilty? Ah!
How'd you run?
No reason.
Get him! Get him!
The assassin.
There you go, pal. Thanks.
I tell you, most of this was right on the spot. We said, "Ooh, let's do this." That laugh, we said, "Do the laugh," and then while he's doing the laugh, we said, "Let's get a close up of you holding out one of the laughs." So he did it normal, and then we dropped it. So we slowed it down, gave him the baritone sound. Again, just one thing after another. Like this here has a bow. He had the bow, and I had the arrow. Fires it. Right there.
Dang it, I missed.
Let's get him.
That actually, when I do the stream on the episode of LA Blood, which is the film that before this was a film that we did the year with the other side of the family, which actually inspired this one. That scene, that little run there, is straight out of that movie. That's why I'm making this here, is because it's an inside joke straight out of the other movie. It's just a little running gag. Like pretty much all of this that is in this movie is running gags from the movies before, and everything in our most recent movie is running gags from this one. So, but yeah, that face is straight out of LA Blood. Here's our our awesome fight scene that we filmed. So you can see we are Mortal Kombat fans for sure. A lot of faces here being made. You just have to pretend. You just have to pretend that the fists are hitting. Yeah. This is too. We had watched. Of course, they were big at the time. They were the ones. They were big into that, like Asian cinema, a lot of the martial arts movies and stuff. Acting. I agree that acting is spot on. But he actually got punched in the face on that one too. So you're doing full contact and everything. They were big into the Asian like cinema and stuff. A lot of the martial arts movies. Jackie Chan, Jet Li, a lot of those guys. And at the time, some of my favorites were movies like Taken. And I was a big fan of Jason Statham with the Transporter movies and Matt Damon and the Bourne movies. And so anybody who's familiar with those knows it's a lot of shaky cam action. And so for me, when we were filming this, my brother was the one holding the camera through a lot of these. But like I said earlier, this was the first film that we had made that I actually took a blunt redundancy. pretty much, and especially when they did their reboot and everything too. But yeah, so this is the first film that I actually took more of a directorial role in. I obviously I'm on the camera a lot, but I did a lot behind the camera where I was saying, okay, what if we shot it like this? Or what if this scene played out this way and the camera moved? So I took a lot more of a directorial move or role for this one. And we were saying, okay, what if we kind of apply a little bit of that shaky cam? Not much, but just a little bit, just to kind of hide some of the flaws. And we're just gonna. So I always loved the face he made right here. But so that was me. Unfortunately, I've changed since then. I do not like shaky cam at all, and I don't close up action. I like very wide shot action. Maybe one of these days we can go through some of my favorite scenes and stuff, and some of the ones that have inspired me the most. But because I love action. I do. You need to. I really just need to talk to you, off stream and try to figure out a lot of this stuff, for myself. Like right now, I'm running this off of Twitch Studio, and which allowed me to do kind of a lot of my own designs. And actually, you'll see it. Here, I'll show you some of the stuff like this right here, because I love space and I love the idea of exploring the unknown and stuff. Movies like Interstellar and stuff like that. That's right up my forte. So I kind of themed my channel around space, and so it's stuff like this. That's my Be Right Back card. Obviously, I have my starting soon. That was at the beginning, and then my thanks for watching, which would be at the end. But so I've themed it all around space and stuff. Thanks. Yeah, I spent one day, and I knew I wanted to try streaming off of the PC, and I said, you know what? And I plan on getting a capture card because I eventually want to run all my streams through here. Right now I don't have that, but eventually I want to get to that point. So I sat down one afternoon, and it was sometime earlier this week or last week, I can't remember, and I just spent 4 or 5 hours just totally revamping my stream. I redid my banners, my profile picture, everything. I went through, and actually, if you go to my channel, you'll see a merch option under there. It's because I am actually, if I can get the second PayPal up and running, I'm gonna take my merch store online. I have a lot of members of the family are wanting to buy some merch. Yeah, I was going to. I actually was looking, and I don't know where you got yours from, but I know I was looking at. I gotta plug in my little camera here. I was looking at the place Owned 3D, which seems to be what everybody uses when it comes to buying stuff, with pertaining to overlays and stuff. And I looked at a lot of them, and actually, if I was to log in right now, I probably still have a lot of them, saved into my cart. What I did was I just typed in on Google, because I call this blue color ding blue. I really don't know what type of blue it is, but we call it ding blue because it's been like the color of our gang, the Kingling Dings, since the since the beginning of them. Oh, let me see. Let's see, because you can commission. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't even look into Etsy at all. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to even see what they have, because I'm curious now. But yeah, so the ding blue and that I call it ding blue. I don't know what it actually is. It kind of drives me crazy that I don't know the actual color. But it allowed me to do that, and so I did that. It customized alerts, and actually, if someone was to follow me right now, you'd hear I have a custom alert. I wish I could figure out one for comments, so it would alert me when a comment popped up. But my custom alerts are pretty funny, and I've just been waiting on somebody to follow me on stream, so it'll do it. But I have that, and for the year, I just went to Google and did obviously the music and stuff too. I just found royalty-free music and tried to do the same thing with the pictures and find some cool space pictures. So yeah, I've themed my whole channel around space, because that's the type of stuff that I enjoy. Which is one of the reasons why, I think it's called Starfield, which is the new Bethesda game, supposed to come out next November, is probably my most anticipated game that, of all time right now. I don't know if it will. That's interesting. I wonder if that would work. You can give that a shot though if you want to, and see if that'll do it. I may be able to make it happen anyways, but I don't know how to trigger it without ending the stream, so I'm not sure. I may try it. But yeah, Starfield, I can't wait. I love Bethesda.
Can I get a
That's it right there. Has my own I put my own GIF in there, or GIF, or whatever you call it. Obviously, it's the ding blue, and then I had to put the sound in there. So probably immature for that, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for Starfield. Obviously, you can see, I've themed the whole thing around space. So when Starfield does come out, I definitely plan on streaming it. For me, it'd be between Starfield or the new Elder Scrolls 6. Starfield's definitely first, but then it would go. Oh, seriously, you can't chat on that one too. That's weird. Oh, because there's a limit, isn't it? It seemed like that was one of the things that they had, like a security thing you have to follow. I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. I'm not sure. That doesn't make any sense. Well, he can come from chat follower. It is follower only. Okay, I didn't know that, so I have to go in and change it. Because I know from the console I have it set, but I think on here I've got different. I do too from the console. I have it all turned off, but I think from here I might have different settings doing it from Twitch Studio. So I don't know. I'll definitely get on that though after this. But yeah, those are my two. I love Bethesda. I love Skyrim, and so is mine. I took out. It asked me if I wanted to censor any certain words or phrases or anything, and I said no. Like I said, I did it all when I was doing consoles, so I might have to do it all for here too as a separate thing. But yeah, I was like, nothing. I don't want any censoring. I don't want anything. Links are allowed and stuff. So that might not be the best way to do this if I'm wanting to grow, but it's going to be the most fun. I'll say that. So absolutely. So yeah, I'm excited for what Bethesda's got cooking up. I think I know a lot of people have kind of given up on Bethesda after, which one was it? Was it Fallout 76? And the Skyrim, I think it's Elder Scrolls Online and the Skyrim remaster and everything it just seems like people are kind of getting burnt out on the way Bethesda's been doing things. But I think the way Starfield sounds, and again, there's nothing this far. I don't think there's anything been announced about Elder Scrolls 6. If there is, please let me know. But as far as I know, they had announced some voice acting and character designs and stuff. But other than that I don't think there's been anything else. It's got exactly released. That's what it was. Everybody's just getting sick of the way they've been doing things. But I think Starfield to me sounds like a return to form. Just them getting back to 70. Okay, it was one of the Fallouts, but I couldn't remember if it was Fallout 76 or 3 or 4 or whatever it was. But I think I've only ever played the first Fallout. I'm not sure. But I think what's it called? Starfield is going to be a return to form for Bethesda. I hope it is anyways. Getting them away out of the multiplayer deal and focusing on just telling a cool, what would you call it, MMORPG? Yeah, absolutely. I never lost faith in Bethesda as much as some people did because, like I said, I didn't play a lot of Fallout 76. I never played. I didn't get any of the Skyrim remasters or Elder Scrolls Online or anything. I still just, if I want to play Skyrim, I go back, I turn on my PlayStation 3 and I play Skyrim. So I didn't experience a lot of the more recent mistakes and hiccups that everybody else did. So I never really lost that for Bethesda. But it sounds like a return to form. I like, the open world style of gameplay that they created. And one thing I hope for Starfield is it's got the, obviously, technology's getting better and stuff, so the scope is going to be bigger. And this video, I've just been waiting for and you're not the only one. From the sounds of it, it seems like everybody's been waiting for that. So I think Starfield's going to be a good thing for Bethesda, and I hope that I'd like them to build. I want them to just make Skyrim in space. I know people have said that. I know even people from Bethesda have mentioned, Starfield was Skyrim in space. And as much as I love Skyrim, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I've played it. I have so many different accounts on there because I just keep playing it over and over again, or different characters. I mean, I just keep playing it over. As much as I love Skyrim, I want Starfield to take what Skyrim did and build on it and make something where it's not just. I'd like them to take. Okay, so if it was me and I could have my wishes, you have in Skyrim's map is and the world that they built is, I think, all pretty much unmatched. I don't think there's been a game, for me anyways, that has built a world that felt as immersive as Skyrim did for me. When I remember when I first jumped in Skyrim, and I don't think a game is ever going to recapture that magic for me that the first Skyrim did, because the first time I played Skyrim, because it was the first time I was introduced to a world that was so vast and so big in a game. Actually, since we're just chatting, switch to this one here. So it introduced me to a whole new style of playing, because up until that point I had only ever played a lot of the Call of Duty games. I had played a lot of different Star Wars games. Battlefront 2 2005 is still to this day one of my all-time favorite games of all time. Not all-time favorite of all time. It's one of my favorite games. And so up until that point, that's the type of stuff I played. So when I did play Skyrim and just realized that I could explore and build and create something that was totally unique to me, where I could talk to people at school and say, hey, I did this on Skyrim, what is yours? And they could have a completely different story built. That was something special to me. And kind of like the Gran for my movie making and my inspiration for that, Skyrim did that for me with gaming. Yeah, more. I've heard a lot of things. Like I said, I have never played PC games until I started Alien Isolation the other day. So, but I've heard a lot of things about Morrowind. I heard it was really good. Same thing with Oblivion. I always heard they were great. So, I'm curious now. I'm starting to get into this style of gaming too. If I want to jump over and try some of those old Bethesda games out, because it would be cool to just see what all, like the inception of what Skyrim was for me. So I think that'd be kind of cool. But see, what I want with Starfield is to take what Skyrim did and oh, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about Oblivion. I just heard people really liked it. Let's see that. Yeah, see, that would be a little more linear, and yeah, I'm not crazy about. If it's gonna be open world, I want it to be open world. I don't want it to be a mix between that and a linear, gameplay style. And that's kind of what I'd like to see with Starfield. The idea of the different factions and stuff, and I just watched the trailer again the other night and was listening to some interviews and stuff on it, and they were talking about the different factions and entities that are taking power in the galaxy, in the world of this game, and the world that we build. Exactly. And I'm with you on that. And that's kind of been how I always played. Like Skyrim, I've never officially beat Skyrim. I never wanted to. I didn't want to build. I just wanted to see how much I could actually do and learn. I've never actually beat Skyrim. I get to a certain point and I'm like, okay, I want to build a new character and try it a different way. I want a new character and try it a different way. And so I've built a lot of things, and I know my most recent character, I'm married, I've built a house, I have a garden, I'm a good guy, whereas most of them I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm always a pretty terrible person in these games. But my most recent one, I'm a good guy, I'm settled, I have. So it's kind of fun just experimenting like that. And it would be awesome if, Starfield captures that, your ability to side with different factions and, take on different roles in the galaxy and, build something, of your own that's going to be unique to your own self. And I hope with the world that I'm going to say I want it to be as expansive as Skyrim, but I want it to be more, I know it's going to be more, but I'm just going to say in the sense that with Skyrim you had all your different, you had Winterfell and Riverwood and all these different towns in Skyrim that made up the whole map, and it would take, forever to cross the whole map and actually explore without fast travel. And I kind of want Starfield to do the same thing with different planets. You have all these different planets that is your Riverwood, your Winterfell, your Windhelm, and you have all, the planets are all these different places, and all the travel in between, like you had on Skyrim, is space, and it's expansive, and I want there to be aliens and creatures in space that, are terrifying, like when you would explore caves in Skyrim and you'd come across, like the vampires in the cave, that was always one of my favorites, to go down and fight the vampires or the trolls or the dragons. It would be cool if Starfield did the same thing. But the thing is, with doing it in space, I think, for me anyways, it opens the door to even more designs and more creatures and aliens and stuff that you could really just go crazy with, just making something off the wall. See, still everything. Sneak Matt, I have never been good at stealth in any game ever. And I was just saying it on the Alien stream the other day, and you can't hear it because my audio is so terrible. But I was just saying it. Every game I've ever played, I suck at stealth. Skyrim, I never mastered my stealth. I had anything in Call of Duty, I was never a stealth. I was a guns blazing type of person. Assassin's Creed, I was running up. I wanted to fight everybody all at once. Any game you can think of that requires stealth, I never was good at stealth. I'm always just a run in, as loud and obnoxious as I can be. So that's interesting. That's no, they fixed it. I really want to pick that back up. Yeah, actually, what's crazy is I was in the hype of Starfield. I was getting sucked in, and I was like, I wonder if there's any other, space games that would interest me. And No Man's Sky is one that I actually looked into and was doing a lot of listening on it, and I've heard that it started rocky, but now it's, one of the, regarded as one of the greater comebacks, when it comes to games and stuff. And so it really interested me and made me want to, learn more about it. Well, then just earlier today, my brother was looking at it, and he was saying, that was a game that he was going to be interested in getting too. So, who knows? Maybe that's going to be something I play in the future, and stream. That'd be a lot of fun. Right. And, that's a big deal. And I think it, that was something that I liked about, that's something that I like. If you release something and it's broken or it's got bugs or things that need to be fixed or things that are being requested to be fixed, and it's popular, then I think they should just fix it and do it that way. That's something that I really like. EA has a reputation of being one of the worst studios when it comes to gaming and microtransactions and stuff like that. But I think their comeback with Battlefront 2 from 2017 is probably one of the best game comebacks that I've ever seen, because it started horrible. Everybody will tell you, everybody who played it at the beginning didn't like it. It seemed like there wasn't anybody who liked it. The campaign was terrible. The multiplayer wasn't any good. The characters, selection, they didn't have any characters to select from hardly. So it was a big misfire. And in the years following, and I think actually until last year, I think they discontinued it, or they, what's the word I'm looking for? Seized or halted all updates or whatever. They cut it off, took it offline. But in that little 3-year window, they turned the whole game around and made it from being this huge misfire that everybody hated to being probably one of, in my opinion, one of the best multiplayer Star Wars games we've ever gotten. And for me, it rivaled a lot of the gameplay from the original 2005 one, which, like I said earlier, is one of my favorite games of all time. So, what they did Battlefront 2017 is, it was amazing, and I've heard kind of the same thing with No Man's Sky, where, you know, if you're a company and you release something and you realize that it's rough in the beginning, you realize people are upset with what turned out, or maybe not even upset, but just disappointed stuff, then it's crazy to see them turn around. Hold up. All right, sorry about that. He come in to check how thick he was on camera, so. But yeah, he threw my whole train of thought off. Yeah, and that was another thing too. They fixed a lot of that, so yeah, it's just, you know, if I was a studio, that, you know, it seems like that's just the go-to plan of action. You know, if you release something that's disappointing people and there's a lot of bugs or there's a lot of issues, just fix it. You know, don't, you know, set and jerk everybody around and then release, you know, paid content later to make everybody happy. Just fix it. You know, people have already bought the game. People are already wanting to see the game do better. Do better. You know, and I think that would fix a lot of problems when it comes to gaming. It seems like a lot of studios have gotten lazy where, you know, they have an alpha, then they have a beta, and people, you know, do their feedback, and they release an unfinished game. And then over the following months, or in the case of Battlefront, a couple of years, then they start fixing it as they go. And they realize that people, and I think with games like No Man's Sky or Battlefront 2, it's almost like they showed everybody that people will still stick with the game. And I don't know that's for sure, I'm not going to attribute motive, but it just seems that way because now it seems like the popular thing to do is just to release an unfinished game and update it as you go and just release things. And it's that, to me, that's just such a flawed, you know, marketing strategy. You know, I think release a finished game and then come up with new things to add later instead of just releasing unfinished and the things you release later are just to fix what you released. So, yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. It seems like that's how games have been recently. I know with, you know, I know Call of Duty gets a lot of heat for being that way. You know, they release an unfinished game and then update it as they go. For me, I haven't seen it as much when it comes to Call of Duty, but I have seen it in other games. I know Rockstar kind of catches heat for that now. Just continuing to milk old properties instead of giving new things. So I just, hopefully, you know, in the near future, the gaming, you know, the suits in gaming will decide that it's better to release something finished and they'll start pumping out quality content. Or Cyberpunk, that's the other one I was trying to think of, is notorious for for releasing an unfinished game full of bugs, and I still don't know if they get that fixed. Yeah, Rockstar, you know, and the thing is, Red Dead Redemption, I love Red Dead Redemption, and I play it all the time. It's so much fun to me, and I think there's so much more they could do with the game, and it just feels like they're just dragging their feet. And it is still bad. Okay, I didn't know if it was still bad or not. I thought about pre-ordering Cyberpunk because everything about it, you know, it sounded awesome. You know, it's, you know, customizable, and, you know, it's semi-open world. You know, one of those where you can kind of explore it, kind of like a Grand Auto type deal, and that intrigued me. but I held off. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna wait and kind of see about it because I don't know anything about Cyberpunk. And then I heard the reports about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was a good call. So maybe they'll pull, an EA and turn it around. Okay? So you didn't either. You dodged that bullet too. Yeah, it was disappointing. Everything about it looked awesome. And it sounded like it was going to be right up my alley for something I enjoy. I enjoy being able to really go in depth on customization, and it is really in depth in customization. But I enjoy that type of stuff. So I was looking forward to see what they were going to do with it. But like I said, I held off, and it sounds like I dodged a bullet. So I just hope that in the future these studios, they'll see the error in their ways or whatever, and start releasing things, quality, of good quality, and then worry about, your updates and stuff that you add later can be new things. That's the way I feel about Red Dead Redemption. I got Red Dead on launch pretty much, and I loved it from the get-go. I thought it was fine, especially the campaign. I'd have campaign. Online was a little buggy, but that's expected. That's to be expected. You're gonna have, some things, especially for a game as sizable as Red Dead Redemption. It's gonna be a little rough, around the edges at the start, but then it cleans up as it goes. But now here we are. I don't remember when it came out. Was it 2017, 2018? 2018, I think, when Red Dead came out. And we're, 2-3 years out from that, and they still haven't really added anything. If you play online, there's not much new other than now you can get a moonshine shack, and now you can do some crimes and opportunities. And people are. It just seems like they. I just don't know how you. Oh, you haven't played either one. Well, I mean, you tuned in on the one stream a couple of months ago when we were doing Red Dead 2, and you saw how chaotic we were. Yeah, it's fun. I think that's another one kind of like Skyrim where you can just suck all of your time out. Yeah, that was a little wild. That was one of those nights where that was a 12-hour stream, and I had got to that point. We'd all got to that point where we were just, high on sleep deprivation, and we just went crazy right there at the end. We had to blow off our steam. It's kind of like the movie I Can't Name by David Fincher, where you just got to blow off some steam sometimes. That did make some funny content, and you got some funny clips on there. I still every now and then I have to go back on and watch some clips because those really crack me up. But yeah, so that was a really lot of rambling when it comes to. yeah, you got it. But yeah, so that was a lot of rambling, but yeah, I hope the state of games. That's right. Yeah, I'm not gonna get caught saying it. You won't catch me saying it. But yeah, I hope the state of gaming gets turned around, and I think we're getting better because it seems like we're starting to get more quality content, and maybe I'm just paying attention to it more. But it seems like the things that are in the works now, or the things that are new, seem to be turning a corner. So maybe it stays that way. I hope so. But yeah, wow, that was a lot of rambling. That was way off topic too. That's fun though. It's nice because, like I said, I get on everybody's nerve. I can talk a lot about very minute details, and so that's one of the reasons that I decided I was going to do this series here, is because it allows me to it's like I can channel all of it out. So yeah, we did. And it seems like we just picked right up where we left off. We haven't lost that touch. Let me see. I guess, there's only a couple minutes left on this, but I really don't know much else we could say about it, about this one in particular. But one thing I will do, and I was thinking about it, nah, you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to switch it over here in a second. I guess one thing I can do is talk about more things in the future, because we're at almost 2.5 hours here. So we've got some good time. Or we've made pretty good time on here. So, one of the things, and you already know about it because you were present while we were making it. Watch it. Well, actually, I've kind of changed it up now. I've kind of derailed where I was going because I was going to talk about the future a little bit more. Sorry, I was moving some stuff out from under my feet. So you were actually there while this was in progress, so you know a lot about it. But for those of you who don't, it just finished a just a little bit slower on here, a little bit less of a reaction time. But what I was gonna say is, yeah. So more recently, I say more recently, it's been in the works for the past 3 years. Has been a film that started off as a joke and started off as kind of more of an experimental thing, and it turned into so much more. And like I said at the beginning of the Gran video, right before I started it, or actually in the middle of me talking about it, the commentary or whatever, I said the Gran was a movie that's, you know, it's kind of goofy and it's off the wall and it's very low quality, but it holds a special place to me because of just the implications that it had and the inspiration that it was to me, to, because like I said, it was the first time I stepped behind the camera and really tried my hand at directing. That's what I was trying to say. So it holds a lot of, you know, merit for me. This film is the one where this is the first one that I really stepped out and really took my time on it. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I have the trailer pulled up. And one thing I was going to say and announce it for something in the future, eventually what I want to do is I want to go through this series here where we go through, you know, a lot of the old films, maybe talk about some stuff that inspired, and at the end I want a series finale, this Memoirs of an Aspiring Filmmaker, at least for the first, I talking about it like it's a show, but you know, it's going to be my next little show. By the end of this, I want to series finale it with an on-stream premiere of The Good Samaritan, which is the film that we just finished back earlier in the summer, or actually, yeah, whenever we finished. I can't remember exactly when we finished it, but it's been a long time in the process. Been a long time coming. A lot of work went into it, and a lot of time, but we finally got it done. The only problem is there is music in the film that is licensed music that I don't know how, but you know, I think I'm just gonna stream it anyways and just work with it from there. But hopefully we don't get any strikes for it. But again, it's the first feature film. I call it a feature film. It clocked in at just at about 70 minutes. So it's over an hour, which is crazy because I'll just. Okay, so I didn't know how it would work. That's good to hear. So I don't think there's very much of it. A lot of it is recycled music from old 80s content and stuff. I won't say what because, you know, we'll just leave it at that. But old 80s movies and stuff, a lot of it. Some of it's a little more recent. Those are the ones I'm worried about. One of them in particular is a Disney property, which I know that they are a little more strict about it. But, you know, if they're just going to mute it, I don't think it lasts very long, any of it. And I don't think any of it really is integral. So we should be good. But, you know, I'm excited too, you know. And this is something I was going to do for the Ding Nation podcast. But I felt that it wasn't going to work because the podcast tends to be, it's more conversation based as opposed to just me talking. It's a little more, you know, it's me and whoever else we're talking about a specific topic. And the first one we did was very chaotic. And after that, I realized there's really going to be no way I can have complete control. And so when it comes to doing a series like this, where we're leading up to a premiere of a movie, it has to be controlled. And so I decided that would need to be something separate. So today, when I was trying to figure out the Alien stream, couldn't get it to work, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to start a new series. And in the meantime. So, exactly. Yeah, and having 6 people all talking at once was a mistake. This Growing Pains, that was the first episode. And it was all over the place. The topic, and we didn't stick on topic. It was supposed to be about the MCU, but then it turned into Tobey Maguire and Bully Maguire, and it was just all over the place. So, and then there was even a freestyle rap in there somewhere too. So, we're just gonna have to keep them separate. And right now, I'm working on Ding Nation episode 3 because the second episode was me streaming Fandom, DC Fandom, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm currently working on episode 3, so we'll see what happens with it. It was interesting. It was a what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be the right type of audience for that. It was all over the place. A lot of weird comments were said. A lot of back and forth, and a lot of inside jokes. So, and then I did get copyrighted in that video a couple times because, beginner mistakes. I played clips from a movie on there, and I played the new Matrix trailer on there as a live reaction, and I did something wrong, and so I had to edit that out. So I don't even know what it looks like now that it hasn't been edited. But yeah, it did. So so in the future, I'm wanting to clean it up and make it a little more, keep it a little more on topic, but I realized that doing it that way is going to be harder to be controlled. So I decided to separate this series and the podcast and make them 2 separate things. So that's the idea. So yeah, I plan on, going through each of our movies. Some of them are short, all of them until the premiere is shorter than this one. This was the longest film until the most recent one we did. So at 20 minutes. So everything else is, I think, 12 minutes and under. So, and actually most of them are even shorter than that. So we'll see. I'm going to enjoy it. Hopefully everybody else enjoys it. It'd be cool. And it'd be nice to, get some other people along the way. And then when we watch the premiere, we'll have a nice little audience to enjoy with. So, yep, that's kind of the things cooking for right now. So I figured I'd end this one with the trailer to what we're leading up to. And you've already seen this, but for anybody else who's out there who hasn't seen this is the trailer to the newest film that we just did. And I'm working on getting it put on Amazon Prime. It just depends on the copyright stuff. I gotta figure out how to work around. Most likely I'm probably gonna have to replace it to put it on Prime. So that's gonna be a down the road type of deal. But I'd like to get it put on Amazon Prime, and it can live happily ever after up there with Llamageddon and Killer Sofa and those type of movies. So yeah, tell everybody, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Everybody I've showed it to so far, because I called it our press tour, where we went around and we did our premieres to the different family members or whatever. So we went to Mississippi, showed it there, went to Tennessee, showed it there, and it seems so far everybody who's watched it has loved it. So hopefully that's the same response we get on here. So I'm looking forward to it. So I build it up, draw it out, so when we finally get there, it's something to really admire. Your press tour, yeah. That's what it was. That's what we called it, our press tour. We were going around and premiering it, and actually my favorite, and if I can, I may show this next time. I didn't think about this till just now, but I actually recorded reactions because when we went to Tennessee, which is the family we did the Gran with, we watched it and we premiered it out, and it was outdoors on a big projector screen. very homemade. It was a homemade projector screen. It's just a white tarp draped over some PVC pipe. And we did that. We premiered outside. And I wish I would have thought about doing it with the Mississippi family as well. But with the ones in Tennessee, filmed a lot of the audience reactions. And got some pretty funny stuff. You know, a lot of people, you know, just hearing how people were reacting and how it was affecting them was really cool to see. So, and all it did was make me want to do this even more. So, I've got a lot of things in the work that are a little more professional that hopefully, you know, someday in the near future, you know, can actually get a real production going. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and press play on this. I could keep rambling on and on, so I have to stop myself at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and press play on this. This is the trailer to the newest film from yours truly. I'm going to be quiet, too, through this one.
What's this thing on? All right. So, I've been experiencing some really weird stuff going on in this house.
Anxiety. He got killed by 2 rampage detectives. No idea what it is.
Here we have it. So it wasn't summer. It was in June. I couldn't remember what day. All right, let's just stop that. All right, so yeah, so that's the trailer for the newest film that we just finished. It finished in June, and I was reading your stuff, but I was gonna be quiet. I was gonna save my comments to the end. So yeah. I'm proud of how it turned out, production value-wise. There's still some things that, because we started this in 2018. This is 2 years after the Gran. And, yeah, I'm watching it on the side here, so I was wanting to keep quiet during the thing. So, we started, and actually, it wasn't even 2 years, because it was the end of 2016 was the Gran. It was the beginning of 2018, so it was a little over a year in between that film and this one. We started this one, we started filming, and we got it was just going to be a little short 5-minute film. And just to practice, pretty much, just to practice, you know, our filmmaking and everything. And as we started filming stuff, and it just snowballed, and we started coming up with more ideas and everything, and thought, hey, we actually could have something cool on our hands. This could be our next 20-minute movie. and we just filmed and I was editing along the way using Viva Video, and hit the 16-minute mark, and I realized this isn't going to be 20 minutes. This is going to be 30, 45 minutes. And then we filmed. Then we had a hiatus, kind of the end of 2018, where just jobs. So that's G Piggy. He's the little midget that was in the last video. Apparently they're on the game, so it looks like I'm going to be streaming the game, after this. So I'll wrap this episode up here within the next few minutes, and then start up a stream on the game. But it just kind of snowballed, and every time we would start doing something, we would get another idea, and it was a little more than just goofiness that the Gran was, or like LA Blood, that of the movies that had come before it. This was something that we was taking a little more serious, even though it certainly has its moments, and when we watch it, you'll see what I'm saying. But what kind of film? They said they need me to help in the game. It's kind of become the catchphrase around here, is we could do better if we had help. So, so they were trying to guilt trip me into pain. But yeah, so yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't be frowned upon for us to get some of that. But yeah, so we just it snowballed into being something so much more than we intended it to be, and then we eventually even come up with the idea to tie it back to the Gran, as you can see in the trailer. He mentions the two detectives, and so it just turned into something so much more. And then my computer messed up, and Sydney, so as you'll remember this, when this would have been 2019, my computer I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my computer. I could get it to turn on, but it didn't want to boot up. And I felt that we had lost the movie, everything that we had done. And at that point, we was up to 20-something minutes of footage that had been filmed and edited. And yeah, you remember, I was so sad because I thought we had lost it all. And I remember asking Sydney Soes if she knew of anywhere I could take my computer to get it fixed without, or even knew of any tips to get it fixed without erasing everything. And what I was hearing was there wasn't a way, if the hard drive was messed up, there was no way I was going to get it on without erasing everything. I was going to have to do it like a factory reset, and it was going to clear everything out. And that was going to be the only way I was going to fix it. So I didn't fix it. I said, you know what? Then I'm not going to do it because I can't lose our movie. I have to find a way to pull the movie off of there. And then earlier, or actually it had been 2020, in the middle of 2020, I was home. I'd been laid off and decided to try to figure out what was up with my computer. And my brother had already enlisted in the Army, and he was going to be leaving. So at that point, I was on a deadline. And I said, okay, I have until August of 2020 to fix my computer, shoot the rest of our movie ideas that we have, and get them all shot, everything shot that we're going to need. And then I'll worry about editing it after he's gone. Because I can edit while he's not here, but I can't shoot while he's not here because he's in it. So we were on a crunch time to get it done, and turns out all my computer needed was a new battery. The battery had burned up and was no longer functional, and it wasn't telling me that, though. I couldn't figure out how to get it on, and turns out that's all I did to fix it. Did some updates on it. It was running like the day I'd lost him, and I was so happy. Kickstarted it up. We started filming in July, and by the end of July, or actually it wasn't even that long, it wasn't even a month of filming, we had about a week. That's all that was wrong. I guess, after we ordered a new battery and replaced the battery in it, it booted right up. And obviously I had a lot of updates that I had missed, but it booted right up, and that was it. That was the fix. So I was relieved that that was it, but I kind of felt like I needed the dunce hat after that. But yeah, so it was about, I had some family come up and visit, and it was 2 cousins in particular, and they would ask us about it all the time. They'd say, "Hey, have you finished that movie yet?" And I'd tell them, "No, haven't finished it yet. Still working on it." And we'd see them the next time. "Hey, have you finished it?" "No, still not yet." So then this time they said, "Hey, have you finished it yet?" I said, "I'll tell you what. You want to finish it?" I said, "Let's finish it. You know, right now while y'all are here, let's knock this movie out of the park." And so we did. And it was about a week maybe, and we filmed double or more than double. Kill a bee. Yeah, look at that. Could do better if he had some help. Look at them. They're desperate without me. Anyways, that's it. Threw me off. That threw my train of thought off. But yeah, so it was about a week. We filmed more than double of the footage we had already had. And not only that, but edited a lot of it on the go because we were kind of running gunning it. Did a lot of editing, did a lot of interesting stuff, and we left out things that get good news. Yeah, you know, what can I say? I'm being ripped in half. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. But you'll get that reference. I know you'll appreciate that. I'm about to. I'm wrapping it up. Like I said, I can ramble. So we finished it. Got all the shooting done. He left. Did a couple of other shots after. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. One of the best. But yeah, so I'm just going to wrap it up here. Yeah, that's what happened. We got it shot, all of it shot for the most part. I had some VFX shots that I wanted to pull off that I said, you know what, don't even worry about it. I can film these by myself. And I did. Ended up filming them by myself after he was gone. Edit it. It took me about a week of several hours a day of editing, just nonstop. I was waking up and editing. Before I was going to sleep, I was editing. I was waking up and doing it again the next day. I was editing nonstop. And got it all knocked out, and by June is when it was done, because I had dragged my feet a little bit on getting the extra VFX shots done. First off, I couldn't do them in the wintertime for continuity reasons. And then, you know, when it opened up the beginning of this year, then obviously, you know, dragged my feet a little bit. Then once got it all edited and stuff, we knocked it out. I had it done in May, and then I said June is when we're going to completely finish it, and that's when we're going to show everybody. So that's what happened. Did our press tour at the beginning of July, and everyone that we've showed so far has loved it. So I have good expectations for it being on here. I think actually it's probably even going to play better on here. In a way, I think that it kind of lends itself to being better streamed than experienced with everybody. I don't know though. We'll see. This will be a first, definitely for me. Obviously, as all this is, but it's going to be a first more than just the stream itself. It'll be a first as a filmmaker, because like I said, this, as the name says, I'm an aspiring filmmaker, and so it's going to be fun. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. It's been a lot of rambling. It's been a lot of me talking. So I imagine, you know, it's been almost, we're 15 till 3 hours of just nonstop me rambling. So I'm sure everyone else besides Sydney Soes is getting sick of hearing me talk. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This has been the first chapter of Memoirs of an Aspiring Filmmaker. That was the Gran. Next time, not sure what film it's going to be next time, so just have to stay tuned for that. I post on Twitter. I pretty much do all my updates for this on Twitter. That's the easiest place to do it. And Twitter seems to lend itself more towards being something I can do announcements on like that. So I do, all my updates and stuff on Twitter, where I'm going to talk about what the episodes are going to be, or even talk about when I'm going live. So I'll post on Twitter what the next one's going to be. I'm not sure when I'm going to stream the next part of this. And I'm going to be starting up Alien as soon as I can figure it out. So, Sydney So's, I'm going to be, picking your brain about a lot of the PC stuff to try to get it to run both the stream and the game. So, hopefully soon I can get the Alien stream started back up. I'm not going to, once I get Alien started, I'm not going to stop this series. I'm just going to have them both going simultaneously, plus the gaming, plus the podcast. Got a lot going on. So, it's going to be fun. Pick mine about video editing. There's not much to pick there. Very amateur, but, I'll do my best. But anyways, that's been the first episode of Memoirs of an Aspiring Filmmaker. I appreciate everybody who's watching now or is going to watch in the future. I know it seems to be that's where most of my views come from, is people watching it after the fact, which is perfectly fine. But add me on Discord. That's where I am most of the time. Absolutely. I'm going to add you on there. I've got it right here, so I'm going to go on there and find you. And yeah, just be everybody. I appreciate y'all watching. I hope I wasn't too boring, and I hope this has been fun for everybody else as it was for me. Be watching for the next episode. All right, that's where I'm gonna sign off. See you on the game.